All right, we are live. We should be live. Let me just go to the chat here, the comments. Let me just check on my phone. I like to just double check that I'm actually live. I'm seeing on my actual phone. Yeah. Okay, we are live. All right, so I'll just get into it and introduce my guest in just a moment. But before I do a little bit of a preamble here. So some of you may remember in the infamous year of 2020, there were a group of folks that sought out to defund the police department. What my esteemed guest on this podcast has done is dedicated himself to a much better cause, which is to defund simping. Because as you guys should probably know, there's nothing more pathetic or off-putting than a simp. I would rather hang out with a friend who had a funky odor all the time than a freaking simp. So very happy to have a great username. And he's actually like the king of TikTok, and he has like 550K on TikTok. One of the largest people in the picking up women seduction niche. I've gone through a lot of his content. He's also a hard worker. He publishes, he'll tell us in a second, but at least 2-3 videos a day, something like that. He's got tons and tons of videos. And I guess I'm just going to shut up now and say hi and welcome Chad, real name Chad, to
Yeah,
the
man.
show. Welcome.
It's funny every time, guys like yourself in the dating self-improvement space go, "Hey, man, what's your real name?" "Oh, Chad." They're like, "No way."
Yeah.
It's funny whenever I'm out at clubs and bars and I'm talking to girls like, "What's your name?" I'm like, "Chad." They're like, "Really?" And I always hit them with the, "Oh, you think it's gonna be Jamal or something?" "Oh, no." I'm like, "Ah, gotcha, bitch." So, so
And he
yeah, man,
also
that's
knows his
me.
dad.
Defund simping. It's funny you did your research because I think on the No Jumper podcast, the guy asked me how I got that name, and I broke it down just like that. Pandemic, defund the police. I was thinking of what else can I defund besides the police, so I chose defund simping and made content on TikTok for about 4 years straight, and here we are talking to Casey Redbeard.
Yeah, no, it's an amazing cause because I mean, guys like me, they're fleeing the West, they're going to other countries. We were talking briefly about this. I'm in Brazil. I've heard stats something like one in like 33% of men ages like adults like 18 to 35 has not had sex in the last year, something like that. And the scarier statistic is like of the 66% that did have sex in the last year, how many of them are having sex with attractive women? That's that's the real
That's
question.
a great little asterisk to add. Absolutely.
Yeah. If you have sex with a wildebeest, I don't know if that should count. What would you guess if you had a hazard guess? What percentage of guys and have sex with like a seven, like what we would call like an actual seven or better in the last year?
To be honest, man, most guys are having sex with what they can. They shoot their shot at the beginning of the night at the 8, 9, or 10, get shot down. All right, this Lizzo built bitch, I guess she has to do. So I have friends who have 100+ body count, but when I ask them about their count, they'd only repeat maybe 10 or 12 of them. The rest, they wake up in the morning like, damn it, Johnny, you did it again. All right, get her out of the bed. No breakfast, no, none of that. Just have her walk through the walk of shame. So yeah, man, I'm more of a guy where my count is way lower, but I almost every girl I've slept with, I do it again and 10 times over because they're all hot.
Yeah. No, I've never done that. I've never had sex with a whale at 2 a.m. when I was blackout drunk. Yeah, no, who weird.
Who
Who
does
does that?
that?
Never,
That's
never,
crazy.
never me in my university years at UCLA. Never
Yeah,
happened to me, but yeah.
never.
um, I've been there. So yeah, we can talk about that. I want to talk about because I don't want to get into a tangent yet. I have some questions before this, but a big thing when I do my free strategy sessions, and I'm sure you as a dating coach in this space, the number one question I get is, Casey, I can get the fives and the sixes, maybe even the odd seven, but I can't get the nines and tens. I can't get the nines and tens. Fuck it. Actually, do you want to even just address that now? Because I have some
Sure.
stuff to say on this, but if you want to, do you have
Yeah.
anything you want to say
So
about that?
whenever I work with guys, I just like to just make them answer their own problems. I don't really develop too much theory or honestly too much game. It's as simple as this. Okay, why do you feel so confident talking to a 5 or a 6? Well, I feel like I deserve them. So you don't deserve an 8 or a 9? Well, gotcha. So you don't think you even deserve it, right? Well, I guess. Okay, what would have to happen right now to make you feel like you deserve it? They're just looking up in the universe, like they don't even know. And I say to them, trust me, bro, it's not a car, it's not a house, it's not money. Because once you get those things, you're gonna have another. Well, I need to be more rich or be more this or have a better version of this car, right? They're gonna keep pushing the goalpost. Most of the time, bro, it's just down to simping. They deem an 8, 9, or a 10 better than them, which is why when they see them, they just don't want to even look at them or look their way or speak to them. So once when you take them off the pedestal and you realize that they're probably that 7 with the makeup off, you'll do way better.
Yeah, I agree with that. I would also just give a counter argument that these girls are actually harder to get. If the student could, pop a Molly, I don't know if that would make his game better or worse, but let's assume that he had like just the right level where he wasn't like, ooh, a drooling, but I don't know, or whatever. He was just at a super confident night and he was a roll up to that 9 or 10 and he had, the confidence and the entitlement and he would talk to her as if he was a 6. I think he would do orders of magnitude better. I think he would actually start getting a few of those girls. But I do also think that these girls are actually they are actually harder to get, even if you treat them like they're a 6 or a 7.
So let's talk about it, right? So I think this conversation is very nuanced. Are you approaching this 8 or 9 in Monaco at F1, or are you approaching her at a dive bar, right? Because those girls in Monaco at the F1, they're looking for your watch. They're looking for what car. Like they're very strategic. They're looking for everything to show that you have wealth. You're worth something, right? Because most of those girls meet guys through friends of friends, right? They pull up with Michael Sartain, right? They're looking around, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, my whole point is it's if a girl's at like in Kentucky at some random city at a dive bar, she's more likely to entertain the guy who's a 5 out of 10 or 6 out of 10 who came up to her, very confident, made her laugh, right? But you're right. If it comes down to a girl in Beverly Hills and she's looking at you and what you're wearing and stuff, yeah, it'd be a lot harder no matter how charismatic you may be.
Yeah. Yeah. I used to, when I was, so we're from the same area ish. You're OC, Orange County. I'm Los Angeles. The number one clubs when I was your age were One Oak, Bootsy Bellows. What else? Maybe even Highlight Room. I was a bit older when Highlight Room came to be. But yeah, those are the most stuck up girls in their environment. I suppose if I could find a 10 at a dive bar in Kentucky, that would be something. What I used to do, and this is something that Dan Bilzerian does. Actually, someone on a recent YouTube comment called me a dollar store Dan Bilzerian, but I used to
Okay.
throw. I'll take it as a compliment. Considering he's the dollar store, I don't know what.
Yeah.
But I would throw these like 4-to-1, 5-to-1 ratio penthouse parties, and that was kind of like creating an environment where they're going to be competing for your attention
Oh yeah,
instead of
1,000%.
yeah. So that you kind of like use that to your advantage. They were just so friendly and so eager to talk to a guy because they're missing that validation because the ratio is against them. And for a lot of guys, and I say this too, like some guys come on the free strategy call and they're like, um, I can get the 6s and 7s, but I want to get, the 9s and 10s. And, maybe we disagree on this. I want to hear your thoughts on this actually, but
Yeah.
I would say a 9 or a 10 is like they go like exponentially level difficult. They're more rare. They're getting the Dubai trips. They have more princess treatment. Like maybe a 7 is twice as hard to get as a 6, and then an 8 is 16 times harder. A 9 or whatever 32 times harder, and a 10 256, like an exponential. Would you
Yes.
agree to that or no?
Yeah. So okay, here's the thing, man. With these girls that are a lot more, attractive. I made videos about this actually. And I said, okay, in LA, right? The most attractive girls are going to be at places where it's exclusive or expensive. So exclusive. If you roll up to a Highlight Room, which is just for the guys who don't know, it's a rooftop bar in Hollywood, and Drake will be there, 21 Savage, Chris Brown, right? All the hottest artists will be there. If you're not buying a table for 2 to 5K, or you're not going to pay the bouncer 100 to get in and sit by the bar, girls won't even entertain you if you're not in a section. Those girls that night on that turf is harder to get. However, if you're so lucky to catch one of these girls outside during the day walking their dog or in a Whole Foods aisle, that's probably your best chance, right? Is it lower? Sure, but it's just harder to get like big cities as well. LA, your New York, your Miami, those girls are tending to be more stuck up than a girl in like the middle of Arkansas or North Dakota. What's your take on that?
Oh, 100%. And this goes back to what I just said about the setup. That's what Dan Bilzerian calls it, the
Yep.
setup. One is, the anti setup, which is she's comparing you to 21 Savage and Drake
Yep.
and the Persian guys in LA who have unlimited money and roll up in their
Yep.
phantoms. And then you're just Casey Redbeard, or you're just Chad. Again, someone said in
Yep.
the comments your name should be Tyrone instead of Chad. Hilarious.
Yeah, true.
Um,
Yeah, I get that too.
but yeah, it's a lot about environment and creating a setup. And what I do, I don't want to side tangent this too much, but I like meeting them more online, because what I find is that, let's say if I was a cold approach a girl, you've heard the term qualifying yourself to a girl, just basically bragging about your accomplishments, or
Yeah, it doesn't
convincing her
work very well.
logically. Yeah, it doesn't work. But the thing about Instagram, and to a lesser extent dating apps, but especially Instagram, it's like it's a flexing app. It's meant to post your trophies and your awards and the highlights of your life. So when I can DM a girl on Instagram, let's say whatever I had my ism that day at Whole Foods, and for
Yeah.
whatever reason I was just in a good mood. I had my flow state, which is something you talk about, and I
Yeah.
did the perfect approach. Online, I can almost do that every time, because my profile is curated to show the exact specific highlights of my life, the best, shirtless, or, I know you're not big on shirtless, but whatever, gym
Yeah.
photos, my funniest content. Like, you made a super funny content piece about, I'm a black guy in the suburbs. Like, of course, I'll let you talk about that. But yeah, I'll let you interject here. So,
Actually, I actually want to talk about that point. Oh man, dude, I lost it. Oh no, you're talking. I was waiting for you to be finished. You know what? We'll transition. You said I'll cut you off. Go on.
sorry, man. No, I need to learn to talk less. It's a weakness of
No,
mine.
you're good, brother. You're
But
good,
yeah, I was
brother.
just saying, like, online you're flexing. You can do your
Yes,
perfect approach.
got it. I got it. So here's the thing I've noticed from working with a lot of guys in the dating space. Most guys have 1 to 500 followers. They're following over 1,000 people, so their ratios are off. Their photos go 2018, 2020, 2024. They post 3 photos in the past 5 years. So I don't like to talk about Instagram too much, because it is so rare to come across a guy that gets it.
Yeah.
So rare. I know in the circles you run in with the guys that you kick it with, of course they get it. Like they're around you, they get it. But it's rare I go to a guy's Instagram page. I'm like, wow, this guy gets it. He's on his vacation in France. He got the photos with the croissants and the coffees and the freaking what's that thing in Paris everyone goes to see?
Eiffel Tower.
Eiffel Tower photo. He gets it, but most guys just don't. I'd argue if you put 10 guys in a room, maybe one has a solid curated Instagram, right? And then most people aren't content creators. The amount of times I say, bro, you're going out this weekend, right? Yes. Take photos, get a perfect outfit, get a haircut. Sunday comes around. Hey, bro, take any photos? Bro, I did. I was just having fun. They're not even in the right mindset. Because me and you, we're all about content. Like, for example, I'm going to Panama this weekend for my birthday. I'll be photo shooting every 30 minutes on the jet ski, on the boat, at the restaurant, I'm just always content. And that's our brains, but that's not 99% of the male brain. It's just enjoy the good time, take a picture of my mom and dad and brother doing this, and that's it.
It's always that.
So Instagram's tough. Instagram is tough.
Yeah, I'm going to present real quick. I don't want to make this a big thing, because I want this to be more about you. I'm going to share my screen. Let me
Yeah,
know in
please
just
do,
two
man. You definitely
seconds.
have a great Instagram showing off,
Well,
all the dope shit you do.
I don't. That's my red pill Instagram. I don't use that. I don't give out my personal info.
Oh,
I
got you,
don't want
got you, got you.
weirdo. Yeah, as if I'm going to
I
have
got
like
you. Got two brands. I got you. I'm the same way.
Myron Gaines. Well, also my content's in Portuguese. Porque eu moro
Oh,
a esse momento, eu tô morando no São Paulo, Brasil. É muito legal aqui. So yeah, all my shit's in Portuguese. But I built this guy's profile, and
nice, man.
yeah, basically this was all done within the span of about a week, 5 days, about 5 days.
Yeah, this
And
looks doable.
yeah, it's all and it's all fake, right? Like, I filled this seminar room with my network. I had, or I guess I still have. I don't live in Medellin, Colombia, but I had a really big network here, and I said, "Hey,
It's
um,
social proof photo. Social
yeah,
proof photo.
let's all get a fake photo of you giving a speech, because assume you know nothing about this man right here. What things may possibly come to mind? You have only this
Yeah.
photo to go on. What do you think possibly
So
about this guy?
from just this photo alone, he looks like maybe he's doing a startup, right? Like he's presenting his company to a people, so entrepreneur. Maybe he is If you have, maybe some people go, he's a business owner and these are his employees. If those are employees, obviously, if you have freaking 8 employees in a room, you're making a good amount of money to employ 8 people. You know what I mean? So yeah, business owner, influential, influence. Can't say it. You know what I'm trying to say.
Influential.
Confident. He empowers people. He pays people. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Confidence. You can own a room, not shy to speak to a room full of people, successful. Yeah, I'm going to cut it out. But then we got, more social proof photos. He's at a dinner table and all the girls are going to be thinking like, damn, all the girls in his social circle they're even hotter than I am. And oh, if he hangs out with, am I good enough for him? And then, but we got the guys that I don't do the cheesy photos. Like whenever he's with the girls, he's like positioned away from them. But anyway, I don't want to make this about me and my audience already knows this shit. They're tired of probably, seeing this guy
Gotcha.
anyway. But yeah, that's, that's the example of like, if your profile looks like that, you could actually, let me transition to another question. Then, seeing as most guys don't have this amazing social media, answer this question for you yourself, please, and then answer it for the average guy. But let's talk about you for a second. What's your best lead source? Is it Hinge? Is it a different dating app? Is it
Yeah.
Instagram? Is it day game, night game, bars?
I would say Hinge right now. I'd say on Hinge per day, I'm getting about 3 to 5 matches per day.
Nice.
So on the high, that's 35 girls a week. I'm not sure what the math is. 35 times 4, that's over 100 leads a month. Right. And I'm not a day game person where I take an hour of my day to go walk around a mall at the Grove and talk to girls all day. But I do go out to Friday and Saturday with the boys and we make 3, 4 approaches. And sometimes they approach the girl that they want and I take one for the team. Just kind of cock block, you know what I'm saying? Provide the blocking, right? And they get the touchdown. So I would say, as you know, with night game, you may get 2 numbers, none of them convert. So with dating apps, man, 3 to 5 a day is it's too lucrative. I love it.
Yeah, the ROI on time is the best, eh?
Yep, that's right. Time is big,
Yeah.
brother. So if you can, so that's why dating apps are, good for guys who are running businesses really busy. There's a new thing people are doing. I think we may have talked about where people are even paying for ads on their photos, and then girls like it, and then they DM those girls. Like it's getting real. It's getting dope out there. Guys are figuring out the game.
Yeah, and I don't want to get into your pockets too much, but I know you must be making good coin, seeing as how influential, is that the word we were looking for? Influential you
Yes,
are on
influencer. Yeah.
on that's cool. Walter, my good friend, freshman CEO, he can't say technologically. Can you say
Technology.
technologically?
Technologically, kind of.
Oh,
I'm like
okay,
90,
there we
I'm like
go.
90, I'm
Easy.
like 95% there. I know I messed
Hey,
up a small vowel, but yeah, go on about
listen, you speak for
pockets.
a living, and you're doing much better than I am. But yeah, since you're a very successful man, you're making good coin. I'm sure the last thing you have is like, yeah, like, I could upload 3 or 4 shorts today. I know you do coaching. I could coach some
Yeah.
guys. I could maybe record a long form for YouTube. I could hit the
Yep.
gym. I'm sure you have another laundry list of other productive things
Yeah.
you can do. But you know
Absolutely.
what? I'm gonna troll the Grove and maybe I'll see a few girls that are above a 7.5, maybe a couple good ones. And yeah, it's just not efficient for your time. When you can get 5 matches a day on Engine. I know they're hot because I know you only mess with hot girls.
Yeah, man. It's I shit. I'm just a person where it's like there's no point in me even spending money on girls who aren't attractive enough. So I'm all for if I see her, I'm like, oh shit, that's a like. If she's like, like if I even like look at her, I'm like not sure. X. I much rather see her and go, yep.
Do you know
That's
who
where my
Austin Holloman is on YouTube?
I know Austin Dunham, that's my boy, but not Austin
Okay.
Hulliman. No.
Austin Holloman, he had 100K subscribers. He's like passport bro kind of
Oh,
guy. He's
nice.
hanging out with here a lot. And we were saying like our thing is like if we even hesitate to think looking at her Tinder, her Bumble, whatever, that like could I or could I not make content with her? Like if I'm like, yo, like if I've made, content with her, I put her in a video and like I even thought for a second, she could get roasted or something like that, or wouldn't be a good receipt. Like we don't like they're either content worthy or they're not. It's just kind
True.
of
Absolutely, man. I agree with that.
a funny way. So anyway, so pretty much, yeah, you said your answer then your main lead source is Hinge then, or dating apps. You do a lot of Instagram as well, or I mean Hinge, probably Hinge to Instagram. Do you ever just find girls purely directly from Instagram?
Yeah, so I'm not gonna lie, man. Instagram, every girl I meet on Instagram, it's through a dating app
Yeah.
or it's in person. Now, cold DM, where you see these freaking GMO girl built in a laboratory, perfect lips, perfect teeth, small waist, fat ass, big titties, perfect. Like everything is just like not a flaw. I'll shoot my shot at them maybe once or twice a week, and I'll get a response here and there. But getting them to the number sometimes, and then get them on the date sometimes. Like it's like 1 per 10, if that. So it's very rare I convert those. But I think Fresh, I don't feel bad saying this, but he even said he's sending like almost like 100 DMs a day, or so it's like an automated thing where he talked about that in like his dating course when he launched it with Myron, right? Or you don't know nothing about that.
DMs on demand. I don't know exactly material, but
Yes.
yeah, I lived with Fresh. He was my roommate for 2 years. So yes, I know he sends come to Miami. He just goes to explore page and yeah, blasts out
Just
come to
yeah,
Miami.
exactly. So for me, my volume's not there. I may send out one a week, if that. Sometimes it's like two a month. So I would say most of it comes from a dating app, or in person to Instagram. And then from Instagram, I swipe up on the story, create some conversation, and then convert from there.
How do you like to open the girls? Do you have like any go-to conversation starters?
Yeah,
Do you like
I got
unique
you.
openers?
Yeah. So with Instagram, I tell guys, listen, when a girl posts a good photo in that dress, half naked bikini, when it's like your birthday and you have like 60, 70 messages from friends and family? That's like for a girl when she posts a hot picture, right? So it's overwhelming all the attention you're getting on your birthday. That's them 3, 4 times a week, right? It's their birthday with attention 3 to 4 times a week or more. Some of them it's every day. They need that hit of validation every day. So I like to skip those photos. Like, let's say a girl posts a picture of her, she got a new speaker, JBL speaker. She just legit posted this photo. I'll swipe up. All right, what's the first song? What's the first song we're bumping? Oh, Red by Taylor Swift. Oh, that song sucks. Here, I have a way better option. Well, what's your better option? Look, how about this Friday when I pick you up, we'll play the song. Okay, number secured. So I'm trying to take what they're talking about in their story that's not sexual, that's not their body, and swipe up, because a lot of guys are swiping up on the thirst trap, and that's when you get buried, right? Or she's so exhausted, she may just like your comment because there's just so many people commenting. So when you take the time to comment on something that's not sexual, it allows her to actually give you the time of day and actually talk to you. That's not all the time, but that's most of the time.
I like that. Here's my theory on like opening and stuff. I'm a big fan of copy and paste openers, and there's one that we actually think similarly in theory. I'll tell you my copy and paste opener in a second, but the second message after the opener is on the same thread of what you were talking about, which is always relates to their content. It could be a photo that they posted. In your case, it was a recent story. Probably something relevant to a recent story is probably the
Yes.
best. It could be a story highlight. I'm an entrepreneur. If she has anything entrepreneurial, I'm going to talk about that. I'm big into fitness. I know you can't really tell, but I'm trying. I'm trying my best.
There you go. Getting
Um,
school on them.
and or there's just certain things that I like to talk about that are easy for me to talk about if she likes dogs. And I'm just very good at creating conversation based on the content she posts. And I find that they like to talk about their hobbies and their interests and their accomplishments and their passions. Who knew? But my opener is it's always a copy and paste opener. Unless I just have like the perfect, like her hinge prompt, just like I got the
Yeah.
perfect sauce for that. I'll do that. But it's just, hey, it looks like we have two things in common. And I
So I
just saw
like
a
that because
video.
it's an assumption, and it makes them really want to know, well, what are they? It definitely intrigues them to make them want to respond for sure.
Yeah, I saw a video where you said you open a girl with question.
Yes, I do. They always go, well, what's the question? They're always intrigued on what it is.
Yeah. So the first thing when people find out like I'm a dating coach or online dating coach, they ask me, how do you get the nines and tens? And then another common one is like, what openers or what's the best opener? And I say either that one or just something curiosity based, which you came to that same conclusion because it's like, what's the question or what do we have in common?
Yeah.
Um, I heard an opener. Let's try this and then report results. The opener is, I think I saw you the other day.
Yeah, that works. I think that'll definitely make them go, well, where? But
Yeah.
I guess now what's the transition if they say where?
Yeah. You have to have a you have to have backlight. My
So
thing when they Well, I was gonna say we have two things in common. I'll find anything. We both like cooking, and we're both into fitness. We both like travel, and we're both entrepreneurial. We both look sexy from the back, and we both live in Denver. But anyway,
Yeah. Yeah, man. I
but
was
how
gonna
do yeah,
say,
where do you go from? Yeah, where do you go from? I saw you the other day.
yeah. So speaking of that opener, I saw you the other day. I always tell guys it's not really even about the opener. It's about how you transition. And that's where guys make mistakes. Okay, I'll give you the opener, but when she responds, how are you going to transition? For example, I went viral for my prompt. I even sell Hinge prompts. Crazy. Like at first I just started just making random prompts that girls were eating up like crazy. And I started making videos on TikTok about them. And it started blowing up. And girls who know me personally start screenshotting all the prompts that they see guys using they got from me. And what happens is I tell guys, okay, use this prompt. Girls then respond to the prompt. Now they're saying, bro, what do I say? Like in my Discord. And I say, bro, if that prompt isn't who you are, number one, don't say it. And number two, most of my prompts are kind of cocky funny. So if you can't override them with more cockiness, don't do it either. For example, one opener I tell my guys to use is hurry up and match me right now. Right? Let's say a girl responds with, "Why are you so eager?" Shit test. Right? She matched you with you because she finds you attractive. Now she's shit testing you with the "Why are you so eager?" And guys will screenshot that and go, "What do I say? What do I say?" I'm like, bro, be even more cocky now. It's like eager. We're just getting started. You relax. You basically, she called you out. Don't son go, "Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be so eager." Now she thinks you're a bitch, right? It's more important. It's always good to double down on the confidence even more. What's your take on that?
No, I agree. And I've been thinking in my head, how would I respond to that shit test? So she says, yeah, what was she goes,
Why
why are
are
you
you
so
so
eager?
eager? Yeah.
And then what was your answer again?
Basically, it's something along the lines of, why are you so eager? So I'm trying to think of actual good response to why are you so eager. So there's one of two options. I tell guys, never allow a woman to bring you into her frame. She's trying to argue. So one way is ignore it. Go to her prompts, go to her pictures. So she says, "Why are you so eager?" You respond, "Oh, it looks like you like Morton Steakhouse." Just whoop,
Yeah.
don't even engage. Right now, if she brings you back to the arguing, okay, this girl kind of sucks and she's already off on the wrong foot. Right. But if you want to actually address it, maybe when she says, "Why are you so eager?" I said, "Well, looks like we're both eager. We're both here now, aren't we?"
Yeah, I
Like
was that
switch
that's
up
what
a
I was gonna
counter,
say.
you know?
My response was gonna be, she goes, "Why are you so eager?" Hey, just trying to match your energy.
Yeah, something like that, man. Like just don't
Just
cower.
trying
Go,
to keep
"Oh,
up
I'm
with you.
sorry."
Just trying to keep up with you. Yeah.
Exactly. Like don't cower. It's not like that definitely lowers your value in her eyes when a guy
Yeah.
can't stand on what he says and doesn't cower
Yeah.
to her. That's lame.
And yeah, foreign women don't do it nearly as much. All women do it, but it's more of an American thing, this whole concept of shit testing. Let's just, I guess, define it real quick. It's when women give you like playful insults or test your confidence, test your masculinity, would say, I don't usually date guys under 6 feet. Could be a shit test. Or, why are you
Sure.
so eager? Could be a shit test. And basically, the only way to lose a shit test is to get very reactive and very simpy and say, well, I mean, I'm 5'10" and a half. That's statistically, that's not that short.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I
Losing
mean,
attraction.
if you say something really witty, like, I don't know, I usually don't date guys under 6 feet. I would say, well, if I was over 6 feet, then clearly that'd be too good for you. I mean, I have to have
Yeah,
one, well, I mean, that's not even the best reply, but even
true.
just
It works.
well, until now, it's just as long, you don't have to be James Bond level wit, but just not reacting to it is a win and just not letting it affect you.
I agree, man. I think guys are very scared to offend women. Bro, I offend women probably every day. Like if I see a white girl drinking brown liquor, I walk up to her and I said, "What are you drinking?" If she goes, "Oh, Hennessy." "Oh, you like niggas, huh?" And her face, like, I this sometimes girls almost drop their drinks. Like they're so of course they find it funny, but most guys wouldn't say that because they're scared to offend. Bro, I think offending a girl is probably the dopest shit you can do. Now, of course, you don't want to say like if she's Palestinian and bring up the whole Israeli conflict, that's a little stupid, right? But for example, last weekend talking to this girl and she says she's from Wisconsin. And I said, "Oh, so you hang out in cornfields and drink beer and watch the Badgers play?" "Ah, no." she found that funny. Like, don't be scared to offend women. They actually kind of like it more than you playing it safe.
Yeah, yeah. Quick little caveat. I mean, I love it. I agree. That's totally awesome. Going to foreign countries, you have to be. So when you go to Panama, just be a little bit more sweet and romantic, or make the teasing even lighter. As long as it's very, very light, it'll work. But women in foreign countries, this whole like shit test, and you get the banter, and you're playfully almost like sparring back and forth. It's not as much of a thing overseas.
Oh, bro,
Definitely more of like an American
dude,
thing.
listen. When I was in Colombia for my first time, every single girl I walked up to, hola, hola,
Yeah.
brightest smile. I'm like, this girl is, yeah, she's probably a whore, but it's like she's so kind and so sweet and so opening to me, a random person on the street. Like, it's not America. Girls in America look at you like, what? Like, who you talking to? Right. So you kind of have to like be a verbal spar out here in America because girls are coming at you back. You know what I'm saying? When I'm over there in Colombia, it's just hola, so nice, so kind, so sweet. I'm like, damn, I don't even need any like aggressive sparring with you verbally.
Mhm.
Verbally,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
need any of that. So yeah, you're right. It's definitely different.
Well, there's nothing wrong with consensually beating up a girl from time to time. They enjoy it.
Consensual, consensual.
They love to get consensually abused and
Yeah,
slapped around, but that's we can't talk about it on YouTube too
that
much.
yeah.
Okay.
Next time. Anyway,
That's a talk for Rumble.
yeah,
Okay. I always think my neighbor, why haven't my neighbors called the police yet? I think
yeah.
that on a nightly basis. Anyway, so let me transition to one of my first questions. I'd like, we just kind of going off the cuff here. We've covered some of the things, but one thing that I wanted to talk about is, in your opinion, why do men struggle these days with dating?
Okay, so one thing I've noticed from talking to a lot of guys when I do my sales calls, it's always free, right? And I ask them, okay, same question you just asked me, what's going on? And they say all these things. And I always say, do you have any friends around you who are about it? And when I say about it, I mean like going out on the weekends, talking to random girls. And they 9 times out of 10, no. Guys don't have a tribe. If you take any guy that's down bad in America, bring him around you, bring him around me, within 6 months, whole new person without much coaching. Just for example, let's say it's me, you, and a guy who's down bad. If we go talk to 3 girls, we're throwing him in there. He has to talk. He has to hold his own.
Yeah,
Right.
it's like
So it's like he has no choice.
it's
Right.
like the movie 300, where each one holds the shield next to them. If you've seen that movie, like
Yeah.
they all rely on the defense, like your one strong line. Yeah, like when guys sense there's a weak link in the group, they may even like bully him a little bit, throw him into
Yeah.
the fire. But it's out of love. It's like you want everyone, so you gotta, hey, come on, motherfucker, like it's just a girl, get your bitch ass in there.
True. Yeah, man. So when guys have tribes, it allows them to not even feel bad. Like I feel like sometimes I think I read in like No More Mr. Nice Guy, he talks about how sometimes guys feel bad for like chasing girls and talking to girls while his friends are in relationships and stuff like that. But when you have a tribe of guys who are like, nah, bro, like you're just like me, like we're good, it makes them feel validated. So I think number one, lack of a tribe. Number two, just keep it brief. I can go on and on and on. But I think the next thing is they're too reliant on social media to get girls that they lost that dog in them. So dating apps, they're great. They've connected people from all over the world. The problem is it took the dog out the man. You know what I mean? Like if a guy's at a grocery store, sees a pretty girl, there's like a 98% chance he won't say anything. You know what I mean? Because he's like, oh, hopefully she's on Hinge. Hopefully I can swipe and find her. So I think fear of rejection / dating apps. And then number one, lack of tribe. How about yourself? What do you think?
Well, to comment on what you said too, I need to defund my own simping. I have, I don't want to get into this right now, but I have a full-time online dating virtual assistant. He sends me an end of day report, like, okay, on your Tinder, I swiped for 45 minutes. I got this many matches on your, we have an app called Inner Circle here. I did this and that. This is how many girls followed you from Instagram. So seeing as I have so much, like more volume I can deal with, handed to me on a silver platter by
Wow.
somebody whose full-time job it is to do this. I'll be honest, dude, I bitch out, I make excuses. And the thing about cold approach is, yeah, it takes the dog out you. Cold approach is like the gym for your social skills. It's like the gym for
Yeah,
your.
bro. Talk about that. That's a bar right there.
I'll let you. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's like what I said. It's the gym for your soul. It's the gym for your social skills, and it gives you an innate confidence and assuredness. And I mean, social skills are a muscle. Helps with networking. It helps with feeling good about life and having that area. I'll let you speak on that. I mean, how many, like, besides just being able to pull hot girls and fuck them, how many other amazing confidence, other benefits have you experienced from doing cold approach?
So what cold approach does, you can take it to so many different, like, and compare to different things. For example, you see a pretty girl, you feel fear, right? Same thing with like a goal. Let's say you want to lose weight, you want to, I don't know, bench press 225. It's a lot of weight, you're scared, right? 225, you put off the rack, like, okay, I'm about to do this shit. You bring it down, and you have to push that shit up, right? And I think walking over to the girl is pushing it up, right? And when you finally lock out 225, that's your first word to the girl, right? Because that walk up, man, and I tell guys, it never goes away to this day. No matter how many cold approaches I do, that walk up of, here I freaking go. This could go great. She could freaking toss a drink on me. Like, this could go either way. Let's see. And I've done it enough times to where I can read women like the back of my hand. I can look at their body language, their tonality, if they touch me, if they move in, move away, shoulders move away. I can just tell everything in 2-3 seconds if they're feeling me. But one thing I do to kind of get myself, well, to me, it's on autopilot. For a guy that's trying to do it, is don't care about sleeping with her. Don't care about getting her number, Instagram. Worry about getting your feet over there. And that's a W, because most guys can't even do that. So you at least get your 2 feet over to her and say hello. That's a W, because most guys can't even do that alone. So validate your ego with just talking to them, and doesn't have to be with sleeping with them. Don't put that on the pedestal. Who cares? It's unfortunate, guys do get their sense of confidence and ego from sleeping with women. It's unfortunate, but it should be about, did I try tonight? Yes. Did I speak? Yes. That's a W.
It's like a tenets of stoicism, right? Only worry about the things that you can control. You can't control her outcome. You can't control
Sure.
if she has a boyfriend, or if
Yep.
she only likes white guys, or
Sure.
if she you just your approach sucked. But you can
Yep.
control if you moved your 2 feet and walked over there, and that
This
you
is
make
true,
that
man.
the bar for success.
Yeah, that's the bar for success. You will feel way better about yourself than, oh, I didn't get her number, or if I got her number, she didn't text me back. My bro, who cares? Like, you did your part, right? You walked over, you chatted her up, you got her number. That's dope. There's
Yeah.
probably 20 other guys who wish they could do that tonight, but
Oh
they
my,
couldn't.
that's yeah. Sorry to cut that. That's dude. The objection of like, I don't want to do this in front of my friends, or I don't want my friends to know I'm doing pickup, or I don't want to see other people get rejected. When in the history of man have 3 or 4 boys been hanging out, having a drink at a restaurant, wherever? Gorgeous girl walks in, the whole every
Yep.
guy in the room is
Holy
looking at her,
smokes.
and one of the 4 goes, fuck it, gets up, steps to her, chats a little bit. She chats back, oh, I have a boyfriend, sorry. He goes back and sits down. When in the world did he lose status or respect for trying and getting rejected versus not having tried at all?
Listen, it's funny. So as I'm talking to guys more and more about dating, I'm writing down limiting beliefs, and one of them was people looking at me, or people, the surroundings. What will they think? I'm like, bro, why the fuck do you think you're so important, right? And number two, let me ask you, not you a question, but that guy. I was like, listen, have you seen a girl? Sorry, have you seen a guy walk up to a girl that you liked in a bar, club, gym, etc.? He said, yes. Okay. When you saw that, how'd that make you feel? I was jealous. There you go. Like, you wanted to be him, right? Yeah. Okay. So it's like, if people are looking at you and making an approach, all they can do is tip their hat, because they're like, wow, I wish I could be him. That guy has the balls that I don't. So there's no judgment. If anything, your guys will pat you on the back for being the one to be able to lead the pod of guys and go over and make something happen.
And there's something about walking, it's like a primal thing, like just macking a bitch, like just to
I like it.
mac a bitch. This is why my good friend Owen Cook, RST Tyler, he just every year he says, "Hey man, this is the last year. We're not doing any more pickup seminars. This is it. With after this RST hot seat, it's done." But every year he says that because guys just get addicted to this feeling. It's like a surge of testosterone, endorphin, serotonin, confidence. There's just, can we just moment of silence for macking bitches? Could we just 3 count? Just mm, There's nothing,
Yeah,
nothing
man.
greater.
It's I love the game. Like I'm like LeBron James on year 21. Like I just love the game, bro. And yeah, it's gonna be hard for me to get a girlfriend one day because I love the game, but I just love that feeling. Honestly, they should do a study. If a guy approaches 1,000 girls in a year, does his testosterone levels go up?
There's zero chance that wouldn't be. I mean, it's just it's like a. You ever heard of the winner effect?
I haven't, but I'm assuming if you win a lot, it just makes you feel and do better. That's my assumption.
Yeah, basically. So if there's like a what do you call it? A tribe, a group, a pride. What do you call a group of chimpanzees? A group, a squadron, a
Yeah,
squad. If there's a squad,
school, whatever.
if there's a squad, let's call it squads. If there's a squad of chimpanzees, the leader, the alpha, always has the highest testosterone. And then if he gets a little older or someone other chimp out alphas him and he becomes a new alpha in the group, now his testosterone will be the highest and the alpha's testosterone will go lower.
Oh,
And they've studied this after boxing fights. You know, two boxers will fight. There's like the winner has like a surge of testosterone. So winning actually does increase your testosterone. There's no way, like you, God strike me down now if macking on bitches doesn't increase your testosterone. I mean, I just
and it makes sense, bro, because when I talk to guys who haven't been on a date in 2 years, dude, their energy on the phone. Hey, man, how's it going? It's going good. How's your dating life going? It's all right. It's like, dude,
you
like,
know
wake
you know
up.
about that. It's almost like it's almost funny. Let me see your thoughts on this. I'm just kind of thinking this out loud.
Yeah,
There's almost two ways to get more attached to your masculine side and become more masculine. One is being around more masculine bros, having a
yep,
tribe,
right.
and then
Yep.
the other is the polar opposite. Do you ever feel like when you're talking to a masculine woman, your own masculinity kind of shuts down, and when you're talking to a feminine girl, you're just like, "Oh, baby, I
Yeah,
I got you. Like, come here,
absolutely.
daddy's here now. Like, I'm gonna protect you and provide for you." But I'm around masculine girls, I'm just like, so that feminine presence, I think, brings out a more masculine side to us.
Absolutely, man. I feel like, I've dealt with my handful of women, and there's only a couple of girls I've dealt with in my life that just brought out the more masculine side of me because they were so cute, soft and so feminine. I can remember everything about them. So it's definitely true. Absolutely.
We got a quick super chat here, by the way. Cameron Knight says, quick question. Told myself I'd start approaching girls one a day for the next 30 days, going different malls to start. Any advice?
Who's kicking it off, me or you?
It's your show, my friend.
All right. All right. So if you're going to do one girl per day, I highly advise you do at least two because you don't want to do one and then it didn't go good and then you go home with like my advice is maybe keep going till you get one good one, where you can leave on a good note. For example, I much rather get third place, which means I lost in early on, but I won in the end, then get second. Second's like, damn, I came up short in the big dance. So I say approach until you get a W, then go home. If it's one and it's good, sure, go home. But if it's one went bad, nah, I gotta get that next one. That's like gonna make me go, yeah, because like the winner effect, leaving home, so leaving back to your house on a W is better. Number two is if you're brand new to approaching, you're gonna suck. Like you're going to suck. You're gonna walk up to girls, make them feel comfortable, and you're gonna stutter. You're gonna have bad energy, right? It's just gonna be bad. So at least acknowledge that. Maybe the first week, just focus on saying, "Hey, what are you shopping for? Oh, pants? Okay, you're a girl. You probably have 1,000 pants in your dresser. Okay, well, you have a good day." Like just focus on just having conversations. Because a lot of times when guys want to approach girls, they have one thing in mind. I want her number, which makes them feel like they want something. So their energy is a bit off. If you're just going up to this girl, I'm having a conversation. That's all. We're just talking. I don't want anything from you. It makes the conversation flow way easier. And then if she's been nice to talk to and pleasant and kind and friendly and receptive to your conversation, then ask her for a number. But start off with the mindset of I'm just going to speak to you and I don't want anything from you. But if you're flirty and we're hitting it off, I will ask. Lastly, you're living in a simulation. This girl doesn't exist. You'll never see her again. So act as such. No big deal. That's my 3 steps.
Good advice. Yeah, I would even take it further on what you're saying because I know you mentioned this in your videos too, and it's something that my first mentor in the game, RSC Tyler, talks about, which is hitting a flow state or getting into state. I always notice like when I go on a date with a girl in here in Brazil, and I've been speaking in English all day, talking to employees in English all day, thinking in English, and I get on the date, my Portuguese is like, I
Yeah,
can't even
true.
form a sentence in
Yeah.
Portuguese. 15, 20, 30 minutes into dinner, she's like, oh, like all of a sudden you speak Portuguese now. And I'm like, I just needed to access that part of the brain. You got to turn on the social part of the brain. So I would say it's probably better to approach, do one marathon in the mall and then maybe take a day or two off, another marathon, take another 2 day off, rather than hitting it just for a short period of time. I try to get as many as you can. And further on what your other point what you were saying with just, be social in general and just talk to people in general. Uh, just ask for advice or ask dumb questions to
Yeah. Yeah.
the girls working in the
Mhm.
stores who they can't be mean and they can't say
Yes,
no
they
and they
cannot.
can't not talk to you. You just ask, like, hey, I have a girl or a sister or a girlfriend that's roughly your size, and what's in. I don't know anything about fashion, and or what perfume, da da da, and just be a
Sure.
little bit like overly, not necessarily flirt with her, but just be a little bit more, just a little bit more, not in a weird way, but just a little bit more chatty than you
Yep.
normally would, get you in that social state.
I agree, man. I think those any more tips for the guy or that's it.
I think we're covered in that. I want to know something about you, brother. Since it's your show, what's your what's your ideal type of girl? If you were gonna settle down from the fuckboy life, if you're gonna throw up the fuck or hang up the fuckboy gloves,
Yep.
uh, and what would that girl look like? What's your
All right. I'm trying
personality,
to
look, everything?
yeah, so for me, she'd have to be a girl. I'm just going with the basics. I can go on and on about this because I've already thought about it. So first things first, I like height. I like 5'6" to 5'8" or 9. I like black hair. I like big brown eyes. I like nice teeth, nice lips. And I like a girl who this may be, not common, but she actually makes some money.
Oh,
Because I don't want a girl who makes 20K a year, 30K a year to where I'm expected to legit pay for everything. She's dead broke. You know what I mean? And bro, like a one bedroom in LA is like 2,800, 3K, you know? Yeah, I know. Yeah. So you're, car insurance, dental insurance, like, dude, think like you need like almost 8K just to like to keep your head above water. Right. So not to take care of her bills, the bill, it's just not. So I want to go make some money. I preferably 60 to 100K a year, and that's doable with a degree, you know what I'm saying, of some sort. And I would say she's useful. A lot of girls here in LA, especially if they're like beautiful, they're usually just showing up. That's like they put on makeup, show up on the date. That's their value, right? That's their whole values. My presence, my feminine energy, not enough. You need to be useful, right? So will you help me cook or help me clean or help me? Oh, Chad, I know you're working all day. I got you a coffee. Like filling in where I can't do for myself. You know what I mean? Oh, I know you've been working all day, bro. I brought food over, right? So things like that being useful. And lastly, a woman who truly thinks I'm her best option because you see it all the time on like when, the red pill channels react to like girls doing crazy shit. They don't respect their boyfriend, man. Like, you motherfucker, you dumb. Like, she's talking to you like that. Oh my God. Like, all it takes is a girl to say, like, you're a bit. Oh, all right. Have a good life. You don't respect me. There's no way. So, a girl who has high respect and a girl who also has high respect for her family. So, mother, father. So, that's it without going on a massive tangent.
yeah,
How about
yeah.
yourself?
Not having hoe qualities is what I'm reading too. That's on the same vein of what you call it, seeing you as her best option.
Yes.
Yeah, so you have the same question for me. I'll make mine quick. I'm very racist against my own people, so no white chicks, has to
No
be brown,
Caucasians.
Latina. Yeah. Brown, big booty, Latina, sweet, caring, affectionate, no history of any mental disease, no
Yeah, that's
history
big.
of any like no depression. I used to be on Xanax. What was the one that you talked about in some video, Lexapro?
Yeah.
No
Oh, yeah.
girls
That
that used to
one
be
crazy.
yeah, no girls that used to be on Lexapro. absolutely zero history of anything that even resembles sex work. Only fans. She had a sugar daddy. She was a go-go dancer, stripper. None of that stuff. Humble, very respectful, extremely absurdly feminine. And I wrote down here for a relationship. Here's my non-negotiables. I must have an incredibly strong physical attraction to her. She has to be like an 8 or an 8.5 or above. I'm a very superficial fuck. I can admit that.
Yep.
Not annoying. You ever have girls that just annoy the fuck out of you after a while?
I've
So
been there, man.
not
I've been there.
annoying. Um, she must have a what I call burning desire. A lot of guys, I call this a prerequisite for a relationship. These are the girls where you dick them down 3, 4 times and they want more. And you're like, bitch, I'm 36 and I haven't taken testosterone yet. Like I fucked you 3 times. Just be happy
Yeah,
with the dick I gave you. Like,
true.
goddamn, I'm 36. What do you want? You're a 21-year-old Latina. These are the girls that, you're like, hey babe, I know it's like 8:30. I'm pissed. I was gonna get dinner with Victor. He flaked. I'm kind of already dressed up. Let's get. What are you doing? He flaked. Oh, I'll be ready. I'll whip on some eyeliner, quick mascara. I'll be ready to go. Like they stay in. They have no plans. And then of course she wholeheartedly accepts me as the leader of the relationship.
Absolutely, man. Good stuff. One thing that you said that triggered it was I'm not a drinker or a smoker. Will I have a drink? Sure, but I'm not a drinker. I haven't been drunk this year, you know? So not a drinker and not a smoker. Can't do stoners,
Yeah,
can't do alcoholics.
yeah. Weed's not the end of the world for me, but I'm much. Yeah, I would say yeah. I could date a girl that smokes weed, but I couldn't
Yeah, here and
cocaine.
there is fine for everything. But if they're like a stoner, like it's 4 or 5 times a week, not a good example because she's gonna be the mother of my kids. I don't want my kids smelling weed in the house. It's weird, you know?
Partially why I dumped one girl. We won't go into it, but she was like a
Yeah.
legit 10. I did videos with her. Like she is a legit Brazilian 10. She is not a 9. Bisexual lawyer, speaks English, but she was just into Molly and stuff. So I let her go, among other things. Okay, cool. So we have another $2 super chat. I'm good at opening, but don't follow up. What do you
Yep,
think,
same
Chad?
thing. Yep. Okay, so as corny as this may sound, you're going to have a script. So my script, roughly, now I say roughly because conversation is not predictable. It can go in any way. But for me, what I do, all right, hey, what's your name? Jessica? Jessica, you from here? I always ask if she's from here so I can get logistics. Are you close enough for me to go on a date with you? Are you visiting? If you're visiting, what's the time period? Right? Are you from here? No, I'm not. Oh, what brings you to Los Angeles? Oh, I want to be an actor. Ah, want to be on the Hollywood Boulevard with a star, huh? Yeah, something like that. Okay, cool. Is this your favorite spot? Like the bar we're at, the club we're at, right? Or the grocery store at? This your favorite grocery store, right? Oh, no, it's not. Oh, really? What's your favorite one? Oh, the one off of so and so. Oh, the spot, the one that does mimosas on Thursdays. I've been there before, never seen you. You can even lie. It doesn't fucking matter. She'll never know, right? Basically, what I'm doing is building relatability. Yes, we're strangers, but we go the same places. We live close by to each other, right? Then from there, I start asking questions about, actually, hold on. After I get relatability, I like to go into an ethnicity. That's always fun for me because I'm very, and you're probably the same way. I know a little bit about everyone's culture or race. Like, for example, I've ran into a lot of really pretty Indian girls. They almost look Latina, but they're Indian. I'm like, oh, you Punjabi or Sikh? Bro, their jaw, they're like, how do you know that? Like, I'm just, I try to play it cool. I just have friends who are, who are Indian as well. So I know a bit. Oh, yeah. So my dad is, and they start talking about their culture a lot, you know? Or if a girl is Latina, I go, you can use this one too. I go, so are you Hispanic? Yeah. Ever thought about being his piece and not his panic? And they bust up laughing, right? So after I get them laughing a bit, I go, by the way, I'm Chad. I also live in LA. I try again, this is off the cusp. If I had notes, I can probably deliver it way smoother than this. This is like word vomit. But to answer your question a long way, brother, have somewhat of a script you can run down. So it's just like bam, 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 close. Because what's happening is you're opening, they're saying, hey, what's up? And you're like, oh, shit, shut down. So have somewhat of a script you can follow mentally so you're not dropping the ball in the middle of your approaches. But what's your advice for that?
Yeah. So after the opener, that was a great answer, by the way. You notice what he was doing is almost the same way that he talks to women. He just did right now, which is he just turned off his brain and was just communicating from the heart, just like letting it, blurt out, and that's actually really why it's hard to do pickup in a second language, because when I turn my brain off, my Portuguese and my Spanish kind of sucks, and
Oh,
like you have
dude.
to let just like you almost talk from like a super present meditative state. If I have a little buzz and I'm out all night, I can kind of do it. But okay, so yeah, my answer to that would be I look for any type of feedback or real-time data that I'm getting from the girl and
Yeah.
talk about that. So if she gave a little like scared man, I was like, whoa, sorry, did I scare you? That we're, I guess I don't know what I would say. It depends where we are. I'd be like, oh, at least I'm not approaching you in the dark alley or something. Or had I approached you in the dark alley, I wonder how you would have reacted. If you react like this in a
Exactly.
public place. Or I could say, oh, yeah, I know, post pandemic, it's not pixels on a screen, but I'm real. I'm
Yep.
here.
That's
I
cool.
know
That's
human
cool.
interaction has been defunded, to use your word,
Yeah,
but
make you laugh a little bit.
her fashion. And then,
Yep.
quick, I was like, what are you up to? And then that goes in so many directions. And, from what she's doing, and then there's a million ways to take it. I'm going to the gym. Oh, okay. Great. So, you got creatine in the bag, or, what's
Yeah.
up? I don't know. That's not even the best thing,
Yeah,
but,
I think also, man,
um,
is making assumptions about people, is also a good way too. So, she's wearing a cowgirl hat. Oh, so you're a cowgirl in the middle of Indiana, something like that. Just making assumptions about people, and also, man, checking for receptiveness. One thing about me, man, I will eject quick. I walk up to a girl, hey, how's your night going? It's going good. Cool. Walk away. Like if a girl, like, listen, you and I both know there's a sparkle in that girl's eye when she's feeling you.
mhm.
She lights up. Oh, hey, she lights up. I'm looking for that. If I get this very dead inside dull look, like, who are you? Like, hey, or it's going okay. Nope. Not what I'm looking for. I know what high interest looks like, and I'm going for it. So that's one thing about me too. I'll eject a set so quick if I'm not getting the love I want.
Yeah, I agree, but I've had some success with the old school pickup term is like plowing. My other main mentor in the game, Todd V, dating Todd Valentine, old RSD instructor, he would call it the hot girl blase. I think you refer to this as somewhat like indifference in one of your videos, where the sixes and sevens will either be very like sparkly, very Christmas tree and light up, or they'll be the opposite. They'll be very shit testy. But the hot girl blase is kind of like, yeah, whatever. Okay, especially in LA, yeah, sure. Like the problem is they don't even shit test you that much, because passing a shit test, for a LA girl creates a lot of attraction. So I'll try to stick in much. I also think that based on my looks, I wasn't getting as many like warm, like instant fuzzy reactions. So you can plow to a point, but I definitely see both sides. At the same time, if she's still blasé, if she's not snapping out of it pretty quickly, yeah, I would say eject, get the
So
fuck out
it's
of there.
funny. I had a friend who's, man, I stepped out with him. He's good. So one thing that he does, he fights through it. For example, he walked up to a girl and he's like, "Hey, you're really cute," and she's like, like like this, one of those. And he goes, "Oh my god, don't be one of those girls." She's like, "What?" I'm like, "Oh shit, oh shit." He called her out about it, right? So I'm like, "Oh, I gotta start calling these girls out, I guess." Right. So he did it multiple times. Walk up to a girl and she's being very like just dead in the face. And he's like, come on, don't start. Don't start. Come on, bring a smile. There we go. My name is so and so. Nice to meet you. Like he
Yeah.
almost like snapped them out of
He
their
coached he coached them.
slimy. Yeah.
He was their pickup coach.
And I was like, yeah, I need to start doing that, where it's like if a girl just looks dead inside, usually my gut reaction is leave this girl alone. Like if she want to talk to you, she'd show you. But he like basically like snapped them out of it. Now, a couple times, no, once it didn't work. The girl just stayed. What are you doing? Right. And he walked off. But a couple of them, he legit transferred them into Instagram leads. Now, did he close them? Who cares? The fact is he stayed in the pocket long enough to fight through the hot girl blase. He did it.
Yeah, even like a quick thing, 10-second story. I was approaching this girl on the streets of Sao Paulo to do an interview for YouTube, and she's walking by. I'm like, hey, excuse me, can I interview you real quickly for YouTube? First response, no. No, keeps walking. Oh, come on, it'll be fun. 5 minutes or less. Well, what are the questions going to be?
Ah,
I
okay. There
come
you go.
over, but like she didn't say no. She didn't say I gotta go. I'm in a hurry. No. Hey, Brandon, can I interview for YouTube? No. Oh, come on, it'll be fun. 5 minutes or less, I swear. Okay, well, what would the questions? This is for YouTube, and what's your channel? And of course, we did the interview. So, just so
Yeah,
you know, I don't recommend harassing women that clearly want to be left alone. It's all about calibration.
it is, man. It's a gray area. You know, it's like how long do you keep plowing through, or is it even worth plowing? But throwing out one little like, don't be that girl, don't be that LA girl. Come on, give me a smile. Okay, there we go. What's your name? That may work.
Absolutely. Okay, let's I have a bunch of questions. I'm just kind of trying to pick the best one here. Let's jump into to texting, which is a big part. Whether it's online, if it's online,
Mhm.
it's got to be texting. By the way, how much time do you have? I want to be respectful of your time. How much time did
We'll
you
talk about another
budget?
30 minutes. I have to pack to go to Panama, Bob. So 30 minutes is cool, man.
Sure, sure. We'll cut off in 30 minutes. Certainly if it's online, it always begins with texting.
Yeah.
If it's a cold approach and it's not a same night pull, a same night lay, then obviously some texting must be involved there. So anyway you look at it, 85 to 90% or more of girls you're going to have to text at some point. What are the
Yes.
biggest texting mistakes that you see guys making?
Number one is being too eager. So let's say he shoots a good morning text at 9 a.m. By noon, they're in my Discord saying, "Bro, she hasn't responded. It's over." First off, who cares? Number two, dude, go get another one. Don't put don't invest so much in this woman's response. It doesn't matter. She can come around later. And then around like 12:30, when she's on her lunch break, she responds. Right. So don't put so much emphasis on responding. Who cares? Number two, another mistake is don't get sexual too quickly. Let's say a girl is gonna go, "Oh, I'm going bikini shopping." And guy's like, "Oh, really? You're gonna send me some sexy photos later?" Smirk face. You're done. All right, she's like, men, how we are, we're like light switches. See a girl, I'd fuck. Girls, see a guy, he's cute, but let's get to know him. Right? It's a volume knob. It's a slow rise, right? Not for all, but for most. So you're already turned on as the guy. So you just say some sexual remark thinking, well, hey, if I'm attracted to her, she attracted to me, it shouldn't matter. So I've seen guys in my Discord definitely shoot out sexual remarks too quick, and of course the girl went cold, right? So that's a huge mistake. And the third thing I can think of for mistakes, I would say talking and texting for too long without setting up a date. For me, if it's I get a girl's number from a club, within 3 to 5 messages, I'm already asking for her availability, and if she can't give it to me in a straight up way, I stopped texting her. I may spin the block a month or two later, right? Maybe she has a boyfriend at the time or a guy she likes. I get it. Timing's a big thing, but I'm making plans quick because I don't want her to think I'm some pen pal. I am intentional.
I love it. I love it. Yeah. One thing that you're probably doing unconsciously as well that, for you, maybe so obviously you didn't even think of it. And I'm sure you probably teach us your students too, which is screening. And I feel a lot of guys waste time on women that are clearly just enjoying them for attention, validation, and compliments. So
Yes.
the three to put it into very technical, easy to understand verbiage would be: number one, how quickly is she responding to your messages? Number two, when you do get a response, how thoughtful was her response? Was it K? Was it one letter? Was it a few words? Was it a sentence? Was she texting paragraphs? And then number three, is she asking you follow-up questions? So if she just answer, where do you work? I work here. Da 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 da. Answer. Da da da. Answer. But if she's, oh, where do you work? And well, tell me more about you. And do you like, especially if you're a foreigner, like, why are you in Brazil? Like, if a girl's not, like, I know if you're a passport bro like me, or a guy who travels, if you don't like the term passport bro, and she doesn't ask you what you're doing in her country, move on. That's a big
Yeah,
one.
man. I know for a fact when you're out there, that is an obstacle to kind of move around. But yeah, man, you do it well, so it doesn't matter.
It's going okay. I
Yeah.
can't complain too much. Another big one would be, tell me what you feel about this. I strive, and I don't like try to. Well, there's two things I always have to insert, and I could talk about this for ages. I'll talk about the first one, which is qualification. You know what this term? Yeah, big our old school pickup term. So if you're not making her feel that there's some type of connection or chemistry or reason why you like her that has nothing to do with her looks, then she's not going to feel special, and you're probably going to flake. She may carry on the conversation for a while, but you're just another thirsty guy that wants to fuck her. So a qualification is giving a logical reason, not an emotional, but a logical, I guess it could be emotional, but a reason why you like her, why you guys have good chemistry, why you guys are a good match. That has nothing to do with her looks. Like I said, if you don't do that, I feel like you don't make her feel special. She just thinks you want sex. You tend to get a lot of flakes.
Yeah, man, shit. Flakes too. We can talk for hours about flakes. Flakes is probably like the number one, not number one, but it's up there in the top five with things that guys just hate about women. Man, they're a slave to their emotions. They don't feel like driving, putting on makeup, getting dressed. They'll just flake.
I have a whole, actually, in my course I have a whole like 25-minute module about, it's called like the flake destroyer is what I call it. That's the name of the module. I've given it away as like a free lead magnet too. But two things. Yeah, a good amount of qualification, sending voice notes, offering a pretty decent first date. If you take them for coffee for a really hot girl, they'll probably say no.
Yeah.
And a video call. Are you a video call guy or no?
So I love FaceTime, but here's the thing: if a girl like I don't care, I'll put on the screen, bro. Just so you know what I'm talking about. Let's say this girl right here.
Yeah, let's see the receipts. Love it.
I'll block her name out just so it's hard to find her.
Okay.
Right with her, right?
Oh, she's bad, yeah. Bad little
I don't need.
Becky.
I probably need to FaceTime her, right? She's good. Went to her highlights. Everything is congruent. But when some girls, they have certain pictures where they're doing this, and they're freaking, always
Pretend to
like
hide this
pouting.
part. I'm
That's
just I'm drinking my water. It just so
yep,
happened to be right
blocking
here.
my double chin. Those girls where they're pretty in the face and they got body too. I'm talking bam, bam, like they got it. That's a FaceTime. I have to really investigate without the filters and your angles. That's a for sure FaceTime. But one thing I do a lot is I do voice notes, random times. That definitely can build some comfort. And I also don't talk to her that much. I'm not the type of guy that goes ghost for 4 days until the day of the date, but I do call her after work as she's driving. And when I feel that she got home, oh man, I have to go start dinner. I'll talk to you later. So just a quick little 10-minute phone call after work sometimes that can also build some comfort as well.
When I was saying like, oh, I'm keeping the water bottle right here to hide this part, I was thinking about hiding something a lot worse than a double chin. I was thinking about
trannies.
an
Okay.
Adam's apple.
Yeah, man. There's definitely a good, like, I'd say for every 30 or 50 swipes, you will see at least one trans in
Yeah.
LA here. And sometimes, bro, this sounds crazy. I'm gonna fucking say it, bro. They look better than some girls.
It's
Like they have tits, they have the face job, the nose
it's the
job, the
worst.
butt. Like, bro, like they look
Bro,
like crazy.
Target on, is it Sunset and La Brea? Where's the Target at? Fairfax?
There is one on La Brea Target. Yeah, I know it on
Yeah, yeah.
Cinemark
That Target
Boulevard
is known to
and
be
La Brea.
a transsexual hangout. We got to be careful on YouTube what we say, but let's just say, yeah, it's not our preference. We don't fornicate with men.
Yeah, with
Um,
the Transformers. Yep.
yeah, and the other thing I want to talk about besides qualification, let me know your thoughts on this too, is creating some type of tension. So there's a lot of ways to create tension. One could be almost kind of like calling her out or being slightly negative, not like actually negative. I'll give an example. Obviously,
Yeah.
sexual tension. You don't want to you don't want to be thirsty, but I think it's important you call her sexy at least once and establish like this is not a friend to friend thing. This is not, pen pals. Call her. And when you mention a dating app, there is that premise, but I like to fortify with that. And then the other form of tension is what I call the high value man frame. I got this a lot of this verbal game stuff, which I've transitioned to text from Todd, again, my old mentor, where it's always like he'll say things. His classic line is, "Oh, this is going so good. I'm enjoying this conversation. I just hope you don't turn out to be crazy." Just like he's not fully won over. Or I might say, a girl says, "Hey, will you teach me English?" And I'll say, "Yeah, no problem. I'll teach you English. You got the best English speaker in the world, baby. Just, you got to teach me samba, fair. It's like a Brazilian salsa. Like, so
Yeah, I
you
get
got to
it.
teach me this. Yeah. So it's like, you're not, too good. Is it something you do unconsciously, do you feel like, or how do you feel
Yeah, okay.
about?
So that is what I call slightly, it's like girls are always never giving full answers. Not all the time, but for example, Are you free this weekend? I could be. What's going on? Mind you, this girl's schedule is completely empty. Like she's just always trying to give you, like, I'll give you this much. I won't open wide open for you. I'll give you this much. Right. And I do that sometimes with girls. So let's say a girl, like for example, I'm going off to Panama this weekend and she will say, "Oh, don't forget me." I'm like, well, shit. So a lot of big booty Latinas out there in Panama, but hopefully you don't slip through the cracks. Like I'm doing what she would do to me. You know what I mean? Like I sometimes play the whole hot girl frame indifference back to them. Sometimes, not all the time, but I like doing that too to try to make sure the playing field is even, where it's just not me chasing her validation all the time. It's also her chasing mine too.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know, I'll give an example of something I did. This example, I guess it's a twofer because we can talk about the power of voice notes. So some Brazilian girl says to me, what did she say? She says, what was it? Oh, you're American. Are you just here, for sex, this and that? Are you going to leave? And then she says, there's an app called Tandem, which is kind of like, I guess, a Tinder for language exchanges. You chat with random people. And if you want to learn Italian, you'll talk to them in English. They can learn English. Then they talk to you in Italian. So you can learn Italian. You just
Oh,
match with random people to do a language exchange. And she's like, yeah, whenever I meet an American in Tandem, I'm just counting the seconds. It's always, they're going to ask, for a photo or something like that. So are you one of these guys? I bet you're just here looking for sex on this app, huh? I'm like, and as a voice note, I say, oh boy, here we go. Don't you just love it when people totally categorize you just because of like where are you from and think they know everything about you? Isn't that just the best? And again, if I had texted that, she might read it as, oh God, here we go. Don't you
yeah,
just love it when people totally put you in a category just based on where you're from? She could
yeah,
take it as like me having like a period, right? Having a little
exactly.
hissy fit. But it's a voice note. And you guys notice when I'm talking to Chad here, I talk to him like this and it's cool. But Chad, if I was to talk to you like this and hold this type of eye contact and modulate my voice a little bit, it got a little bit more gay. Did you?
It
Sorry to
did.
make
It
it
did
weird,
get,
but
it did get kind
yeah,
of gay. Yeah,
you
for
got
sure. I
you got the
agree. I
gayness.
agree.
But
Yeah, tonality matters, man.
but this
Tonality matters.
it's that it's that kind of podcast. I don't know if you looked into if you researched, but
No, I didn't.
hopefully we
Hold
get
on.
to hopefully we get hope we can get to know each other a lot better. No, but seriously, so when you do these voice notes, right? So as text, things can be interpreted in a lot of ways, but voice and eye contact, would you agree, are the two best ways to show confidence? And you can't do eye contact. I mean, you can on a FaceTime call, I guess. You're kind of looking at the camera, but um, voice is a great way to seduce. Some of the greatest seducers of all time, like Barry White, and these musicians and stuff, have been seducing women with their voice. So they're very, very powerful. And that was also an example of like a little bit of tension, right? So rather than saying, no, I'm actually serious and I have a visa and I'm not leaving and I'm not one of those sex tourists. I actually live here. Failed shit test. Pass shit
Yeah,
test. Oh, great. Here we go. Don't you just love it when you get judged for where you come from? Isn't that anyway?
I agree, man. Sending voice notes and always, how I say this, when they throw things your way, right? Always being able to sidestep it with some confidence is very important because you can't come off like your butt hurt. You can't. So I'm glad you sent the voice note because it sets the right frame and it definitely probably works for you like a good little 8, 9 times out of 10.
No, it's yeah, and then I have a lot of other things too. But I showed I did a video where I'm like I'm trying to aim to make my texting conversations go from looking uh, like this to looking like this. It's hard because in the camera, my hands are mirrored. It's like I move my
Yeah.
left hand and I see the right. But anyway, and on the one screenshot was a whole bunch of text, and on the other side was a whole bunch of voice notes. And then, so you said this is other thing I want to talk about. You're big on video calls for seeing if they're not land whales or if it was all
Yes.
filters for verifying hotness, basically.
Correct.
So
Yes.
I'm more into the video calls like a first date. How do you
Yeah.
feel about
Oh, yo, I've definitely made TikToks or told clients about that. In a way, it's like a first date, you know?
it
So
is?
it,
It's an
because what it
interview. You
does,
get to know them, you build the rapport.
absolutely. And there's been times where I FaceTimed a girl and she sucked, and I'm glad I didn't see her out in person, you know? So it definitely does act as a first date. Um, but for some girls, they're so hot, like this girl I just showed you, it's fine. We can skip it. I will send voice notes like I did with her already, but I haven't FaceTimed her. But with girls who are get a bit on like the cusp, hold on. Let's hop in a car real quick. Let's see what you really look like.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
I do it to see if there's also going to be some bullshit feminist rhetoric that's going to come out on the video call,
Yep.
or if she's just going to be mind-numbingly boring, or if
That
she's going to
too.
be kind of a what's the word, like an assertive woman, like a masculine.
Yes.
So I don't, and I'm 36, right? I'm about to hang up the my fuckboy boots,
Gotcha.
um, and that's why I want to talk to you more about that too. But yeah, I'm 36. I want to have kids. We're like a decade apart, practically 9 years.
Mhm.
And for me, like, I have this, huge. I'm as bad as those girls on my friend's show, Fresh and Fit, where they're like, he gotta be 7 feet
Yeah,
tall and
yeah.
make 90 million. I'm almost as bad as those bitches. So I can't have any more bad first dates. I try to get at least a selfie with the girl or tell the waiter to take a photo with us. That's more content. That's more receipts. So I'm like, if I can't get content out of her, if it's going to be a waste of time, if she, I want to avoid stepping on landmines, basically, is why I
Yes.
do video calls. So and if you can do, I don't typically like to do really, really long video calls, but if I can do, I've done this before, but I don't recommend this. A 2-hour video call, the flake rate is almost zero after a 2-hour video call.
Oh yeah, man. The more rapport you build, the better. So yeah, I think it's funny. There's some guys out there that done 2 hour video calls and then got flaked on, like never again. And then some guys do 2 hour calls and the girl never flakes. So it's interesting. But yeah, video calls are great, build rapport, hear your voice, see your tonality, how you move your body, your arms, your fingers, all that shit. So it's dope. It's a good way to kind of screen for girls who suck.
Yeah, and I've also done 2-hour video calls and been flaked. It's always been, oh dude, it's always been the hottest girls, and I don't know if it's part of it. Like, I'm sure I'm being a little bit more eager and simpy
Mhm.
with them. I think if we're to be truly honest, most of us probably are. Maybe the real experienced players are not. They have so much abundance, or if it's just that because, dude, if you think like, oh, it's Brazil, third world country, it's so much, bro. Like Google Brazilian guys, and like I'm not special here. Like Brazilian guys are a lot. They're like 6 feet on average. They got money. As I'm looking out, I can see 4 like heliports, Sao Paulo. Like I'm competing with guys who have like legit helicopters out here, rich dudes. So it's really, really hard to get a 9 and 10 out here, which we talked about a little bit. Maybe when we have more time, maybe we can do a whole show. We can both bring notes, um, dedicated to that, since that seems to be it's like some of our clients, actually very few of my clients, maybe you have some clients that are like virgins, but most of my clients and probably the majority of your clients are already getting some girls. They just want way higher quality girls.
Yeah, I love dealing virgins here and there, because it's like, bro, you're dealing with the sluttiest version of women of all time. These girls will fuck after a vodka cranberry at a bar, So if you're not getting some, either you're way too picky or you're not trying
Fair
for
enough. They're
sure.
also some of the most entitled and higher standards of all time, so it can be a double-edged sword, but maybe
Oh,
it
for
maybe
sure.
it evens out.
Yeah, it's definitely both. That's actually, it's a great point. But nowadays, guys can get first date lays way easier back in 1950 or 60, my personal opinion. So it can happen. Also, same thing. Like their weekends, they don't go out. Oh, I'm not going out. It's clubs and bars are too loud, bro. Go where people congregate.
Mhm.
There's always like this disdain of guys who, there's this disdain for nightlife amongst guys. And it's like, bro, go there to get your shots off. Yeah, these girls aren't your future wife. Great, fuck them then.
Mhm.
Like, why are we being so prejudiced towards nightlife? Like, get out there, get some approaches. You're not approaching at the gym. You say you're not doing that. You're not approaching at your job, right? Because you don't date your coworkers. Fair. So where are you meeting these girls at? Get out there and have some fun.
After a decade of living in nightclubs, living in Vegas, living with the RSD guys, I'm actually one of those guys who has disdain for the whole nightlife. A cool bar where there's actually hot girls. The problem is not very many true 8s or 9s go to like bars,
Yeah,
because
they
as you
don't.
talked about, they go to exclusive places, and clubs are so loud and bottle servicey. I agree with what you're saying. It is like a Navy SEAL training for your social skills, getting pushed into, highlight room, or again, these clubs maybe not be there, but Bootsy Bellows, One Oak,
Yeah,
whatever.
still
I don't
there.
know.
One out
Okay.
closed down, but yeah, everything else is still there.
Okay. And dealing with these, LA 9s and 10s. I'm all for the social skills and the confidence. And like we talked about, it's like gym for your social skills. But I will say, however, if you're going to be that guy like me, that's like, oh, Nightlife. I don't do nightlife. Clubs are loud and annoying environments. At least I've cultivated one of the best fucking social media profiles on the planet. Actually, speaking of which, Steven is in the house. Steven, the guy showed his profile earlier. Remember that guy that had the really professional photos, right?
What's
The
up,
photo shoot.
Steven?
Shout out to Steven. He's in the chat. So it's like, cool. I'm sure if you had a student said, I don't like bars and nightclubs and they're too loud, but I approach at the gym, I approach at my college campus, and I have a sick social media, and I hired Casey to bring me an online dating virtual assistant full time to
That's great.
message girls and stuff like that. Then you say, okay, but it's like, at least do something else, right?
Yeah, I'm big on, what's the alternative? For example, you, like you said, lived in nightclubs. So it makes sense. You don't want to be there no more. That's great. But there are guys out there who won't go out at night. They just jerk off, play Fortnite, watch Netflix. Like, bro, you need to get your social skills up. What better way to go out to a place where people your age are all congregated and hang out, talk, So it's better than being at home. So I always stress that you got to get out the house. I don't care if it's a bar or club, bro. Go to like go on Eventbrite and look up events. Maybe they're having a chess club. Go there. You don't want to be in a
Plan a
nightclub.
double date with your friend if you really
Yes.
hate. First of all, there is something to be said about walking up and going to total strangers. A double date, you're with your buddy, and then you have a girl, and then you're meeting their friend for this time. That's still awesome. That's still, 99% better than what average guys are doing. But even though that's a great alternative, I don't like bars and nightclubs, but me and my buddy are going to take a group of girls out to get dinner. And I know some of them, but some of them are new. And it's, some people, that's great. But fair play to what you said. There is something truly said about like, this is a total stranger. And I'm just going to walk up and through my personality and charisma, add value to her night by providing a fun experience to her. And, oh, fuck, I don't know. Okay, here we go. And that is, again, like we had a moment of silence for Mac and bitches earlier.
Yeah, that's right.
One of the great ones. All right, let's close it. We got like maybe one question or two, and then maybe we can just close it out. I appreciate your time. What's it? Withers is cold.
Mhm.
Says WKCW Chad, what do you think is better, kissing at where the date is at or kissing at your place so you can escalate fully without any interruptions? I've heard a lot of differing opinions. All right, I'll let you go first on that one, my man.
All right. This one's interesting because you can argue against both of them. Hold on. Like, okay. Sterling Cooper?
Yeah. Actually, I've met him. I've hung out with him a couple times. Cool guy.
Yeah. So Sterling Cooper said, dude, you should be making your move like early on in the date. Like you should be kissing her within an hour at least. Right. That's what he says. Like you should be making, moves quickly. Right. Don't wait till you get back to her car or back to yours. And, I had a good night. Yeah, me too. Like, don't wait for that moment. Right. So it's like, but I've had moments where I did that because I was like, damn, I was supposed to shoot my shot now because the girl was being very cold throughout the night. She never got closer to me. If I got closer, she just stayed in her spot. If I went for arm around like the couch, she didn't lean in, like very neutral. Kissed her at her car. And I was like, when I come back, she's like, yeah. I'm like, all right. So it's worked before, right? But honestly, to be honest, this is a great question, and I can't give him a black or a white answer because there's pros and cons to both. Making out throughout the car or wherever your last place is, then you ask her mid sesh, hey, want to go back to my place? She's like, yeah. Versus you make no moves on her, zero, because it's like if you're making out with her already and you go back to your place, it's like way greater chance things are gonna happen because you already broke that first barrier, right? Versus getting back to your place, haven't done anything yet, no kissing at all. Now it's almost like a second date at your place. You have to slowly escalate back to the bedroom. So, man, if I had to say it, man, fuck it. My gut says no kiss at the end of the night. Ask her back to yours, of course, in like a good way. That's a whole nother conversation. Asking her back to your place, get her back to your place, and then escalate from there. Versus making a move on her at the last part of the date and then parting ways.
Well, I'll give a short response to this. Yeah,
Yeah.
my thing is somewhat what you were saying, where it really doesn't matter that much.
Yeah.
She's into once a girl totally is in your frame, and sees you as this amazing guy. It doesn't really matter, you kissed her a lot. One thing that I would like to not get, LMR. If it's a date, that's different. But like LMR from like a nightclub whole last minute
Last minute
resistance.
resistance.
Yeah, where
Yeah,
they don't
the
want to
club,
smash you.
man, her
Yeah.
friends, and oh yeah.
No. So I'm talking about when you actually get her to your place and then she doesn't want to smash. But
Oh,
like,
that. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So I like to do one good passionate kiss to check a box and then let the sexual tension rebuild up. So it's kind of like there's a sexual tension, especially in Brazil. Everyone's always touching. And as far as like PDA, people damn near like dry hump in the streets in Brazil. Yeah, it's crazy. There's no like what's the word, like taboo against, PDA. So I like to, we'll be touching. They're always girls are like always like rubbing your arms and like touching you or and like smell like Brazilian girls just come up to you and like smell you, bro. It is like
Oh wow. Okay.
wow. That'll increase the testosterone. Having a beautiful girl just smell you.
Yeah.
And I like to build the sexual tension, touch a lot, and then I like to maybe start with like an Eskimo kiss a little bit, and then go in for like one good like real kiss, and then back
Okay.
off. And I'll just keep her wondering like, why did he continue to kiss me more? Like I already kissed him once. He knows I'm into him. Why? And then kind of let the sexual tension build up so that when you're at her place, it's kind of like a pressure cooker, right? If you like release the valve psh, and all the steam comes out, then there's no pressure built up, right? But if I like take the valve, psst, get like just oh, there's steam in there, psh, it's on, and then close the valve again and let that steam build up, then there's a release when I get her back to my
Yeah.
place.
You without going into crazy detail, my friend talked to me about this where he does that, right? Where like when you say like you get back to your place, you're on the couch, right? Most guys take the blanket, put it over her, snuggle up. Why not? He actually gives her the blanket and he's over here, right?
Yeah,
He's like leaning away. And she's like, oh, why over there for? Oh, no, if you want to come over here, if you can. She came to him. Okay. Now she's on him. Okay, cool, cool. They say he goes for a kiss, right? And of course, she's like, really into it. He pulls away. I'm not the type of guy. Relax, right? Stop. Like now she's grabbing him. So then when he goes for sex, she kind of in a way was the pursuer of him because he kind of flipped the frame, which allowed there to be no last minute resistance because she was the one pursuing sex, really not him.
flip the script, old school pimp terminology, kind of like it's like Inception to sales. You make it, if you study other, if you ever study sales, you got to make it like you ask, oh, so well, if you don't, make a big change in your dating life, then how are you gonna get, the girls that you want? And you ask these questions that like they make it think like it was their idea to sign up for your program. You didn't ask them do my program. Speaking of which, what do you do? How can people? I mean, I'm sure you've built some clout with my audience. We only had like 20 or 30 people join at the height of this for the live, but over 1,000 people, probably even closer to 2,000 people will see this eventually. So I'm sure that you flex your muscles. You've built up a lot of authority with you as a good dating coach, and they're going to check you out on TikTok. So if people want to find out more about you, work with you, get help from TikTok's hottest star in the dating niche, how can they find you? Where can they learn more? And how do you and explain your programs too? How do you help guys?
Yeah. So first place where to find me everywhere is defund simping, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. And I have two offers. If you're a guy that, you're 19, you're 20, you're 21, or you're just low on funds in general, you don't even make even 4K per month USD. I have a program called the Discord where you are in a live chat room with guys all over the world, just with the same goal, right? They're sending their dating app photos or dating app messages. They're talking about their nights at the club. Hey man, help me out here. Who knows how to lose weight? Like there's trainers in there. And it's a big help me. There's also courses available, a master course going over everything dating, a style guide, a fitness guide, a hinge prompt guide. And every single Monday, we have a live call that goes over a topic. And then it's an open chat room who asks questions. And all those calls are recorded and put into the library. So right now it's easy, like, I don't know, 20 calls recorded. You can watch at your leisure. Then there's the one-on-one. You want me to hold you accountable. You want me to text you, hey man, how was your weekend out? What happened? We have one-on-one calls. I'll walk you through a step-by-step curriculum. I'm basically holding your hand and forcing you to be accountable to the results that you want. That's the one-on-one coaching. Just DM me on Instagram. Hey man, saw the live. Want to inquire about one-on-one coaching? That's available.
If you guys are on the fence about getting this guy to help you, let me just say a few things. Game recognized game. Okay, this guy pulls ass. I mean, he already showed a receipt. He already showed a beautiful girl. I'd rate her at least around somewhere in the 8. I'd have to see more photos of her, but she's
Of
very
course.
beautiful. He's showing receipts, and again, you just know who the fuck Max, who the fucks get bitches, and who doesn't get bitches. One of your favorite hooks on TikTok is reason number 35 why I know you don't get bitches, but
Bitches.
no, and you're bringing me back to nostalgia, man. I've been out of the game for so long. The way you talk about shit tests and bratty women and how to deal with them and the things they say, I kind of forgot that American women have been like this because I've been out of the
Yes.
game so long. So a lot of the stuff that I say, obviously I think I'm a pretty good coach as well, but especially if you're in America, I'd say hands down, go to this guy. He's more of the authority in America. And you do a live call. You're actually on the call every week?
Every Monday, man, in the Discord, only
God,
for $39 a month USD.
dude, you should raise your prices, bro. That's insane. The amount
Well,
to
how it
really.
works is I'm slowly going, So first it was 29, now it's 39. Next month probably 49. And I'll probably cap it out around 50 or $60 a month. But this is for guys who, I'll be honest, bro. Out of maybe 120 people in the Discord, 25 are active. So like 80 or 90 people are just donating money every month.
Well, it's going to a good cause. They can. I believe with the IRS, there's like a subset of like donations to charity that could be written off, and I believe you get an even greater write-off if you can check the category that specifically your charitable donation went to defunding simping.
Yes,
It's the 1094 write-off.
exactly.
It's the new IRS code they'll give you.
Yeah, one-on-one coaching, just for guys who are wondering, it's in that 2-3K range. It's for 2-3 months, and it's great. I hold guys accountable. Ton of great results. Only like one guy didn't do the best because he didn't speak the best English. Because that was a bit of like a barrier in him talking to women.
You didn't teach him
Obviously,
English? How dare you?
they didn't take him English, man. No, it doesn't come with Duolingo. But yeah, man, that's the Discord. People are loving it. People are meeting up. Like people go, hey guys, I'm from New York. Me too. They all go out to a club, take each other's dating app photos. It's definitely built. I've done a meetup here in LA. Like 12 guys showed up. It was cool.
Hopefully, maybe if I'm around, I'll be around. I'm coming in.
Yeah,
We talked about.
you're
We'll talk.
coming
We'll
soon
talk
in
more.
June.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and I'm always there for the holidays too to visit my family. And for you guys thinking like, oh, 2-3K, oh, that's so expensive. Tell me this: for your 2-3K, what's more important than getting the best possible candidate for someone you're gonna share your DNA with? If you're gonna make babies, if you're gonna continue the lineage of the human race with somebody, and just for 2 or 3K, you could even make that candidate, even 10% more of what you more ideal, a little bit hotter, a little bit less crazy, a little bit less annoying, a little bit taller, a little bit better values, a little bit of a less crazy past or whatever it is. There's nothing more important. I mean, this woman could try to take your kids away, take your money away in court. If you could go from like, well, I got, 50 women I could choose to be my girlfriend, or 500 women or 5,000 women, if you could, pick from a bigger pool, nothing makes you overall more happy in your life than your relationships with your family, your kids, your social relationships, and your wife or girlfriend is going to be ultimately, who you choose to be your partner is going to be the most important decision you ever make. And I'm sure on the other end, you could teach guys how to be a dirty fuckboy as well if they just want to bang a bunch of chicks. So
Yeah, man. I always ask them, during the call, man, what's the goal? Are you trying to find that one? Because if you are, it's gonna be a lot harder, bro. You're gonna have to sift through a lot of trash to get to that one girl. If you want to be a savage playboy, I got the playbook for that too. So which way you want to go, I help guys get there 100%. And yeah, it's funny, man. There's a stigma around getting help with women, but there's no stigma around getting help to lose weight, bro.
yeah, yeah.
Eat less calories, move your body. 1, 2. Getting girls, way more complicated. If anything, getting help with girls should be way more normalized because girls aren't easy. It's not do this, do this. It's not. If anyone tells you it is, they're lying. They're smoking crack. Okay, warm approach. Okay, cold approach. Okay, was she giving you any Iowa? It's a whole, it's
It's a
a whole
science.
breakdown. It's
Science.
a science,
Very
bro.
A percentage of men are born with it innately and they have it, and a large percentage of men are not, and they have to. I was one guy who had to learn it to
I
some
learned it.
degree.
I learned I was not that
Yeah,
guy, bro. I didn't kiss a
yeah,
girl until I was 18, didn't lose my virginity until 19. So I had to learn this shit from the
yeah.
ground up. So I was
I,
one of
wa-
those
I
guys.
was I was around the same way, and yeah, we'll wrap up here in a second, but yeah, especially with online too, because there's some like human connection, social interaction, like rabbits in a cage type thing. You put a male rabbit and a female rabbit, they're gonna figure it out, and they're gonna make babies without anybody teaching them. But especially when we make it about apps or writing prompts or looking
Yeah.
cute in
Oh,
photos, like that is something you really have to be taught because there's nothing natural about that. Okay, cool, man. Well,
Sure.
we're slightly over. We're 4 minutes over the hour and a half.
Very
I
good,
really,
man.
really appreciate you coming over. Big
Likewise, brother.
thanks to you. Send me links. I'll put links when this video gets published. Send me on WhatsApp right now how they can get to. I got your TikTok and your other social. Send me specifically your Discord.
Yeah,
And
there.
it was a pleasure. Enjoy Panama, and I hope we'll connect when we're in LA. Thank you again very much for coming on.
Peace out, brother. Have a good one.
All right, peace out.